from the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
And welcome back to KPIX 5 this morning. Time now just about 6:30. I'm Melissa Kane.
Good morning. I'm Devin Fehely. As welcome as the rain is in the Bay Area, along with it comes unwelcome mushrooms. And now there's a new warning for poisonous mushrooms. East Bay Regional Parks just sent out a warning about 2 invasive and deadly species that are often found here in the Bay Area: the Amanita phyllodetes, or death cap mushrooms, and the all-white destroying angel. In San Francisco's Alamo Square, we found pet owners who were unaware of the potential danger.
It's not something that I was aware of, but I mean, we do have a new 5-month-old puppy and he picks up lots of things. So it's great to know that, because it could be dangerous for him.
Debbie Weiss is an expert on fungi. She has some tips on what to look out for.
It has a cap that expands when it's young. They have a veil that covers it, but as the cap expands, that veil drops like a little skirt right on that stem. And at the base, it has a bulb with a little sac around it.
Debbie says that both people and pets, that time is of the essence to save lives, that it is best to vomit within the first hour if your pet accidentally eats one. Now, Debbie also says that the poisonous mushrooms can come up at any time. They grow primarily with live oak trees, but they have also been found with pine trees up in Marin and on other types of trees as well.
And a member of the York family, that's the family that owns the 49ers football franchise, has died. Anthony John York, known as Tony, died Friday at age 35. He was the son of team owners Denise DeBartolo York and John York, and younger brother of 49ers CEO Jed York. Tony York was a tech entrepreneur and a philanthropist who lived in Sausalito. A statement from the family reads in part, "Although our hearts are quite heavy at this time, we have so many special memories shared with him to carry us forward. Tony will forever be remembered as a bright, spirited entrepreneur with an unmatched passion to serve others." The family statement did not give a cause of death.
People gathered at an Oakland church to support migrants from Central America last night. Last night's solidarity event at First Presbyterian Church had several goals. Attendees want to help migrants resettle, and the group wants to raise money to assist asylum seekers in Tijuana, Mexico. They also emphasized another purpose:
to end the militarization of the border, the tear gassing and the kind of violent repression that's been happening at the border, as well as to push for an end to the delays so that more people will be able to come through in a timely manner.
One speaker at last night's event was a woman who reached the U.S. from El Salvador about a year ago. She is now trying to reunite with her son, who is stuck at the border. Now, meanwhile, President Trump has lost another round of his legal fighting regarding his immigration policy. A federal appeals court in San Francisco upheld a lower court order blocking the Trump administration's attempt to stop people who are caught crossing the border illegally from claiming asylum. The appeals court called the policy, quote, an end run around Congress. The Jesuit religious order has released a new list of priests who have credible sex abuse accusations against them. The list of about 130 priests covers 10 Western states and goes back to 1950. The release of this list comes after the October release of a similar list by the Catholic Diocese of San Jose. In a prepared statement, the head of the West Province of the Jesuit order wrote, quote, "It is inconceivable that someone entrusted with the pastoral care of a child could be capable of something so harmful. Yet tragically, this is part of our Jesuit history, a legacy we cannot ignore." Now, most priests named in the report have died or been dismissed from the Jesuit order. 7 have been removed from active ministry, but are still housed at the Sacred Heart Jesuit Center in the Los Gatos Hills.
It's a lifelong scar. It doesn't go away. You can learn to live with it, but it's always there. From what I know about the Jesuit Center in Los Gatos, there's very little supervision of the men who are on this list, who are living there. And that's a concern. It should be a concern for the public.
We made several attempts to contact the Jesuits directly for comment, but those calls have not yet been returned.
And new video this morning shows city workers cleaning up the streets of Paris, France, following the violent yellow vest protests over the weekend. French President Emmanuel Macron is expected to address the nation tomorrow. Well, this was the 4th weekend in a row of protests in Paris. Now, these demonstrations have led to a virtual lockdown of the city, shutting down famous landmarks like the Eiffel Tower. Police used tear gas and water cannons to disperse the crowds yesterday. In all, more than 700 people were detained. This movement, which began last month in response to the country's fuel price hikes, has evolved into a broader protest against President Macron's government. President Trump has blamed the Paris Climate Accord for the violence.
Spotify has moved out of its San Francisco mid-market office over safety concerns. The music streaming company leased 3 floors of office space at the Warfield building at Market and Taylor Streets back in 2013. It was an early recipient of the city's mid-market payroll tax break, meant to draw tech companies like Twitter to the area. But the Chronicle reports that Spotify moved out in the past month before its lease ended. Employees said that they felt unsafe in the area. Now, last year, one worker said that she was slapped in the face by a homeless woman near the building. The company is still in San Francisco. It moved to the financial district's Merchants Exchange building.
And today is the first day of the Golden Gate Transit quarterly bus schedule adjustments. That means some trips will be adjusted up to 6 minutes to improve connections and run times. Schedule adjustments will continue tomorrow, so check their website to see if your bus time has changed.
Some teachers at Oakland High School are planning a work stoppage tomorrow. It's to call attention to a bargaining impasse between Oakland Unified School District and the Teachers Union. District teachers say their pay is among the lowest in the Bay Area. The planned walkout is not sanctioned by the union. Well, the time now is 6:33. The Academy Awards are searching for a new host after this year's pick suddenly stepped down.
It happened after some past tweets from comedian Kevin Hart resurfaced.
One of my biggest fears is my son growing up and being gay. That's a fear. Keep in mind, I'm not homophobic.
The Twitter videos are from 2009 and 2011. Hart has deleted them, but they already were screen captured and shared online. We got some holiday cheer for you. You may see some Santas running in their skivvies today. It's the annual fun run through San Francisco's Castro district. We have a video here of last year's event. Hundreds of men and some women and children will cruise the mile-long course produced by and benefiting the San Francisco AIDS Foundation. The run begins at 11 a.m., so expect traffic near Market and 16th Street for the race. Last year, the runners raised $78,000.
Dozens of San Francisco police officers and cadets braved the Bay yesterday to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The event kicked off with a 5K run and a walk and a fun run at the aquatic park. Then participants took the plunge in the Bay's chilly waters, and some even pulled a cable car 200 feet. Organizers say the event raised more than $160,000 for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. 9,000 pairs of fake Nikes were stopped in their tracks on their way to Chico. The U.S. Customs and Border Agent seized the sneakers back in September at the port of New York, Newark. The shipment had arrived from China and it was headed to an address in Chico. Agents say that if those shoes were authentic, they'd be worth nearly $1.7 million.
And Amazon has agreed to stop selling foie gras in California and pay a settlement. A 2004 law bans the sale of foie gras statewide. And last month, district attorneys in 3 counties sued Amazon, saying the company knew about the ban in 2012 and 2013 but kept selling it. Now, Amazon says it will obey the ban and pay a settlement of $96,000. Now, for the past few years, California has not been enforcing the ban because of legal challenges from foie gras producers and restaurants.
The holiday shopping season has barely gotten started, and already Amazon is getting slammed on social media. The problem, slow deliveries and lost packages. Amazon says that many of the problems can be traced back to the Camp Fire in Butte County, which affected the company's Sacramento distribution center.
Nobody can control the weather. Nobody can, obviously the fires were a big hit to everything.
It's not what you pay for, Amazon Prime. So I do not feel good about it.
Package carriers say you should plan to order or ship your holiday gifts by December 15th just to be safe.
And here's one last look at that extended forecast, giving you a glimpse of basically the next week. Today, we are going to be on the cool side. We're starting off foggy this morning. We'll see temperatures topping out near 60 degrees for the warmest locations around the Bay. A little rain moves into the North Bay late tonight and early tomorrow morning, but it should clear out of here shortly after the morning commute. And then we are dry Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Temperatures hovering in the upper 50s to low 60s, depending on where you are. Not a whole lot of temperature fluctuation this time of year. Those microclimates are not very distinct. We basically all are hovering in that same mid to upper 50s range, really through the extended forecast. The main weather headline here, though, of course, is showers. Short-lived tomorrow, dry by the second half of the day, and then we've got a pretty nice week in store.
As if Monday morning's not hard enough.
There you go. A little bit of
rain for you.
It's going to be rainy for us.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning.